Alright, the big news coming in this morning. Brace up for another round of fuel hike. This time it will hit you harder. Well, petrol, diesel and LPG prices are likely to go up. A decision to this effect is expected to be taken at the meeting of Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs when it meets this evening. Sources tell headlines today that LPG cylinder prices could go up by anywhere between 50 to 100 rupees per cylinder. Diesel prices are also expected to go up by about 5 rupees. The government has already made up its mind to do away with LPG subsidy after 6 cylinders per year. The Congress core group will also meet in the evening before the cabinet meet to discuss the likely hikes in fuel prices. Well, Kartikeya Sharma, our deputy editor, now joins us with more details. The decision has to be more political than economical at this time, Kartikeya, which is why it appears the big jolt is coming.
You see, the core group is at 4:30. 5:30, you have Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs. There are two components to it. The first component of the Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs is LPG. There's a note which Petroleum Ministry has sent on a technical study that on an average an Indian household doesn't require more than 5 to 6 as a mean medium of cylinders. So what they have decided is that after 6 cylinders, every cylinder should be sold to a household on a market price. Now, if that policy is actually put through today, in terms of finances, it's going to save UPA government 8,000 to 12,000 crores. But this is going to be a very difficult decision. Now, petrol is deregulated, but not just. It has a domestic effect, it affects the farming sector, it affects the transport sector. Government takes the call to diesel prices, and there's a note which says that the diesel prices must be raised, or else the companies which produce diesel will become unviable because the government bonds cannot sustain them in free market. Now, these are the two things on which the government will have to deliberate. And both are very tricky issues. Both are connected with Aam Aadmi. You see, the government can take a play which always they are doing in past. That's well, so it's very concentrated. Now, it's very like fighting bullet.
Absolutely. It's so whether the government will bite the bullet today or not, we'll know. So all indications coming in that there could be a fuel price hike on the cards. We're getting you the details of exactly how the prices are likely to go up today. We're also joined by my colleague Mayur Shekhar Jha. Mayur, tell us why at this point it is necessary to raise the fuel prices and do away with some of those subsidies, at least for the middle class as far as LPG cylinders are concerned.
Ruchika, in fact, the economic situation is getting really grim, and there's an internal note also prepared by the Department of Economic Affairs that in the current macroeconomic picture, the subsidy burden is a bit too much for the government to bear. As far as diesel is concerned, the oil marketing companies have been saying that they are incurring under-recoveries to the tune of 20 rupees a litre. So, of course, the entire 20 rupees worth of under-recoveries cannot be compensated for. But what we hear is that at least 4 to 5 rupees will offset at least 25% of the under-recoveries that the diesel companies are incurring. It will also be symbolically important for the government, and it will set the mood for reform going. So these are the factors in favor of the diesel prices going up. But of course, it is expected that the move will attract stiff resistance from government allies like Trinamool. So whether eventually the government is able to execute this or not is something that needs to be seen.
Right. Just take us through the view of the Petroleum Ministry as well, as you had earlier told us how this note was being circulated where they talked about how there has to be a cap on LPG cylinders. What really is the ministry's view?
The ministry knows that going for a very big hike in LPG and diesel prices is not possible. So there has to be some other ways of containing subsidy. The most important thing here is to really minimize the government expenditure on subsidies, and with that in mind, it has been suggested that there should be a cap of only 6 cylinders that should be eligible for subsidies of the government. So that's one proposal in the offing, which is again likely to be taken up today.
Mayur Shekhar Jha, Kartikeya Sharma, thank you both for joining us. So a big jolt coming our way, a steep hike expected in fuel prices.